I know sometimes tragedy is a bit strong a word, but what happened?
You can say
footy tragedy. Hamish Hartlett, unfortunately, he had a terrible accident at training and it's cost him most likely around 12 months. We all felt a collective groan went around, all footy people, when we heard the news, and he's been fortunate to have the operation, but he's going to have a chat with us now. Hamish, welcome to the show.
G'day, fellas. It hasn't been too long between drinks, has it?
Yeah, you're in here a couple of weeks ago. Hey, firstly, commiserations on your injury. Terrible luck. The timing was terrible because you've been in great form. Has the enormity of the situation, you're most likely going to miss 12 months, has that sunk in yet?
Yeah, I'm not sure it has yet, Bicks. I don't know. I felt sort of pretty, as positive as you possibly can be, and sort of upbeat. I've stayed pretty upbeat about the whole situation so far. I suppose we've only played sort of one game as a footy club since the accident, so I'm sure as the season progresses and as I'm missing more and more footy, it'll start to sink in a little bit more. But I've had incredible support from everyone, as you can imagine, and I'm ready to attack the rehab as soon as possible and get back fitter and stronger for next season.
Well, you'll show true strength in adversity, Hammer. We know that of you. Can I go back? How did it happen?
Yeah, so basically, the irony is that I wasn't even on the sheet to train to starters because of the head knock and the shoulder, little AC joint injury that I sustained in that incident with Paddy Dangerfield the game prior to. So I wasn't even supposed to train in the first place, but I said to the guys, I'm pretty keen to have a run around. It was Thursday before a Saturday game, and I hadn't really done much in the lead up to the session, so I was keen to get out there. Anyway, I had a bit of a run around, it felt really good, and then the drill that we were doing was only supposed to go for about 10 minutes, but we decided that we weren't executing the drill the way we wanted to, so we extended it for another few minutes. And it was within that extended period that I got a handball from Jake Need, and I was sort of in the air as I received the ball. I landed on my left leg and then went to pivot off my right leg to try and get around Jared Polek, who was applying a bit of pressure to me. And just in that pivoting motion, I think my boot sort of got stuck in the ground a little bit, and all the force and pressure that was going through my knee as I was twisting was a bit too much, and the ACL just snapped from underneath me. So that's the way it all went down. I knew straight away that it was no good. Just the mechanism behind it all, and having seen people done them plenty of times over the years, I had a fair idea that was what had happened.
Yeah, when you've done it. I've done one. Mine went off like a bloody a 22 rifle. Did you hear the snap? Yeah,
I certainly felt it. The guys around me pretty much knew straight away that that was going to be the case as well. So, I guess you sort of, you sort of go into shock initially. It's quite painful for a couple of minutes, and then the pain subsides and you sort of hobble off, and the worst is confirmed when you get to the room. So,
did you cry? Did you cry?
No, I think my mum did. The old girl was pretty upset, and my dad and my mother and my whole family were pretty upset with the whole situation. But as I said, I've been okay with it so far. So I'm sure I'll get tested at some stage along the way. But I've had plenty of support, as I mentioned earlier.
What goes through your mind in that instant? Like you said, you knew instantly, and you're sitting and you're thinking, "Oh my goodness, what's just happened? What's running through your head?"
I guess you come to the realisation pretty quickly that, you've done your knee and that you're going to miss a lengthy period of footy. And, for me, there's a lot of guys, senior players that don't necessarily enjoy training too much. They just prefer to sort of get through Monday to Friday and then play games on the weekend. But I don't know, I just love training. I love getting out on the track with the boys and having a kick around and having a bit of fun out there, so I'll certainly miss that. And I guess, that's probably one thought that enters my mind straight away. And also just knowing that I'm going to spend a lot of lonely time in the sweatbox sort of by myself as well over the next little period as well. So they're probably the two most disappointing factors.
Now, you've had the operation. That was late last week. We had Mark Williams on Friday, and he was suggesting that maybe that Lars might be a consideration. I think you've had the traditional reconstruction. Can you tell us about the operation, how it went?
Yeah, so I had the traditional operation. So Lars was never really came to the equation. It wasn't really something that I was keen to pursue, I guess, because the strike rate of that being successful probably isn't even as good as the traditional one anyway. So, and given that I'm 27, I feel like I've got some good years ahead of me anyway. So, decided to go for the traditional surgery, which is where they take part of your semitendinosus hamstring tendon, which isn't your main hamstring. It's just one of the smaller little honey tendons behind your knee. Take that out. They fold it over a few times to make it nice and thick, and then get rid of the old ruptured ligament, and then screw in this new tendon, which over time forms into a ligament. It's pretty unbelievable the way it all unfolds.
Oh, they're damn geniuses, those doctors, no question about that. Choco did ring your mum. What did he say? Did he make your mum cry? Come on, Choco.
Oh, he might have. I think he was the one that suggested to mum maybe get the Lars or some sort of half operation. It was even, mum loves nothing more than coming to the footy and watching myself and even my brother play down in Mildura whenever she can. But, even the morning of the operation, she's going, what about Lars? Can you maybe just do that and only miss, 6 to 8 weeks or whatever? I'm like, Mum, it is what it is, I just got to do what I have to do and miss a little period of footy, but we will be all right.
Don't you just love your mums? All they care about is their little boys.
Yeah.
Oh, that is magnificent. The bloody timing of it all for me, you're in career best form, your body's sound. It's crap sometimes, footy. Hammer, you can't explain it, can you? And like you said, the bloody drill, you weren't even meant to be there. Do as you're told, Hammer.
I know. That's the other really frustrating part about the whole situation is that from the back half of last year into this season, I've thrown probably 20 of the most consistent games of footy that I've had for my entire career. So to this happen now is pretty devastating. But like I said, I feel like I've got plenty of good years. My body is sound now. I've got a great deal of confidence in that, which I think goes a long way to playing good footy. When you're confident in your body and you feel like you can attack a contest at 100%. That's when you get the best results in terms of your on-field stuff. So we'll be right, mate. I'll do everything I can over the next 6, 9, 12 months to get right. Go from next year.
I'm sure you would have been propped up there with a couple of pillows in front of a big TV watching the boys play on Saturday. You would have been really proud with the performance they put in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Nixie mentioned it in his press conference yesterday that we tweaked a couple of things based on last week's performance, and credit to our group. Every time we get challenged in a certain aspect of the game, we really respond very, very well. So now it's just a matter of putting those types of performances together week in, week out. I think we all know what to do now. We all know the game style that we want to play. We all know what to expect of each other. So if we can keep those high standards up, I'm sure we'll have some good results. But it's a great way to respond. And I'm sure they'll be looking forward to doing it again on Saturday against West Coast.
Well, you owe West Coast one, don't you? Any motivation there from last year?
Oh, there'll be a little bit, yeah. And, they just got over the line against us early on in the season in the JLT game as well. So we're starting to build a nice little rivalry, I suppose, with West Coast. And there'll still be a bit of unfinished business, I think, from the guys that played in last year's final to get one back over them for sure.
That, for those that don't know, it was the extra time, dying seconds, 50-50 free kick. They lost
Luke Shuey
by 2 points for Luke Shuey Duckaroli. Would you play Paddy Ryder this week?
It's hard for me to say. I didn't see him run around yesterday, but if he feels really comfortable in his body that he's going to get through this game, and not only get through, but not then compromise his performance for the next few weeks or his body, then I would play him for sure. But if there's any doubt that he might, get through the game and then risk himself for the next 4 or 5 weeks after that, then I wouldn't bother. I'd give him another week to make sure he's 100% right to go.
Okay. Hey, work diligently on that rehab. I know it's only early days. Build yourself up. We've had a number of texts, Moreland Office Furniture texts coming through. They don't want you in the gym pumping up those biceps too big, Hammer. We don't want any
Well,
any big Des and
I've
Troys?
got some bad news. I've got some bad news. I'm chasing a couple of PBs on the upper body over the next 3 to 6 months.
And
see, now that's the danger you see.
And who's going to get the pleasure of sort of waiting on you hand and foot? Have you got someone close by to?
Yeah, I've got the young man Billy Frampton living with me at the moment in my house.
Billy.
So
Billy boy.
Bill, though, he's going to have to pull himself away from Fortnite, the PlayStation game from time to time to just, give me a feed or take my shoes off or put my socks on, that type of stuff. So,
Come on, Billy.
We might send a little bell down for you, Hamish. You can ring it when you need him.
That'd be good.
Hey, what about coaching or whatnot? Will you have a game day role, do you think? Or that's
potentially, yeah. Kenny certainly suggested that that's an option for me. And, coaching is something that certainly does interest me. So I could certainly look down that path. I feel like I've still got a big part to play around the footy club in terms of mentoring the younger guys and just going about my rehab in a professional way that might be able to inspire these young guys when they do face adversity from time to time. So there'll be plenty of things for me to do to keep busy for sure.
Well, Hammer, you're in a club that I'm in, and it's the ACL club. It's a club I didn't want you in, I don't want anyone in, and I try to send a text to everybody that's in that club, and I say, Fortis in Priscilla, and I sent you one. You know what it means?
Noticed that? No, I had no idea, mate. I should probably have looked that up.
The Latin classes.
Now, Hamish. It's strength in adversity.
Ah, there you go.
And you will show that, Hammer. Make no mistake, you'll come back bigger and better. Just don't build those biceps up too much, mate. We love watching you, and we'll love watching you again, Hammer. Good man.
Beautiful. Good on you, lads. We'll have a chat again soon.
Yeah, thanks very much, Hamish Hartlett there. And nobody,
makes me cry.
No matter which club anyone plays for, we don't want to see our good players.
It's the worst club in the world
to injury. So when we heard the news, you just think, oh my goodness, great form, and unfortunately he's going to miss a significant amount of time. Hamish Hartlett there, we thank him because it was a really in-depth, discussion about how he felt, how it happened, all the ins and outs of it.